Hey everybody, Kicking It Retro here today, back with another Pokemon Emerald Wi-Fi Battle. You guys remember Ice Ball Walrein? He remembers you, and he is going to put in some of the finest work today. And it is going to damage things that, honestly, Ice Ball shouldn't be doing that much damage. But you're going to have to check out the battle to see more. The only other thing I want to highlight in the team is Choice Banded Hitmonlee. He has absolutely no choice but to lock into one attack, and that'll all make sense later in the video. The rest of the team, as always, is backed up by Support Lantern, Hypno, and Kangaskhan, Iceball Walrein, Choice Banded Hitmonlee, and Physically Defensive, Explosive Solrock. Hey everybody, Kicking It Retro today. You guys really bowled over my expectations in the last Wi-Fi battle with Walrein, and let me tell you, I hope you didn't miss Iceball Walrein too much, because he's back again. You didn't miss too much on the first turn. There was a swap out into a Roselia that has no concern at all for that Thunder Wave due to the natural cure. We end up with Kangaskhan that has to step on spikes. Atlas decides to go with Lapras. By the way, this is a recreation battle, and Atlas was kind enough to be completely okay with me recreating it, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it is close as it is as the real thing. Link in the description. Alright, so this Lapras is going to curse up. We trade a Body Slam that, of course, doesn't get the para. And I decide for some reason that a +1 return can best be taken by Walrein. It actually does not do that much damage, to be honest with you, after the Leftovers recovery, about 68-70. I go for a Defense Curl knowing I'm going to be able to take anything but a crit return, and I take it really well. I also want to make this Lapras afraid of Toxic, because it will also flush out if there's like a Rain Dance on his moveset, or possibly that it is on one of his other mons. But just like back from last game, here comes Ice Ball, and he's like, okay, so I quad resist Ice Ball, but I want to go for that Toxic. Now, it actually connects. Now, the problem with Toxic is over time that is going to be doing damage, and I really just want to get as much mileage out of Walrein as I possibly can. That Ice Ball is definitely going to bring him in range where he has to go out to Lapras that quad resists it and still gets chunked for 30%. Now, I don't know about Smogon spreads myself, but I do know Lapras usually runs max HP and max special defense, especially seeing that this is a curse variant. That next one doesn't chunk him that well, but after this next curse, what are you guys thinking, chat? How much do you think Ice Ball is going to do? By the way, guys, if you enjoyed the music we're kicking in today's show, drop a comment down below and let me know. This next Ice Ball doesn't just chunk the Lapras. It straight out KOs it on the 4th hit. Guys, that is a quad-resisted Ice Ball with max special defense, and you know Walrein still absolutely smashes it and bowls it over. Predicting some kind of Thunderbolt, Mean Look, anything weird, I go into Solrock, because even if he does Mean Look me, I can explode to get out of the situation. He reveals a Sand Slash. Now, Sand Slash only scares me with HP Bug. As I set up a Reflect, I can't really do damage back to it, and this boosted Rock Slide doesn't do it after the Swords Dance. I actually missed a residual chip that I got with the Rock Slide, which guarantees that I'll be able to take him out with that explosion. I decide now to bring in my Kangaskhan as he brings in Misdreavus. Now, I want him to be absolutely afraid of my Kangaskhan. I want him to believe that I can knock this thing out with a 2-hit KO with Shadow Ball, so if he wants to try the Mean Look shenanigans, he is going to have to look elsewhere because I'll be able to 2-hit KO him. I'm just trying to make sure I don't reveal too much. He knows I have Wish and Body Slam, just so that he can be completely unaware when I get him. So, this Thunder Wave actually doesn't do anything because I am already poisoned. I'm at 59% as he Mean Looks me, and that's okay. Walrein has done plenty already. I'm going to Mean Look the Encore, and what's going to work out here is he actually doesn't carry the Thunderbolt to hit me. Thunder Wave is his other coverage, and the Mean Look Parasong is the best he can do for damage. So I get a free hit on the Roselia, which is really nice. Now, Roselia typically runs specially defensive. I don't know when the tiers change, but as far as I'm aware, Roselia is actually in the NU tier, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So Hypno takes this oncoming Giga Drain phenomenally, as I figure Thunder Wave can help, but it's probably just going to force out the Roselia. So instead, I feel like a Seismic Toss War is in order. Another Giga Drain comes in, it doesn't do too much. Do not get a crit. I do have Wish, Thunder Wave, and Seismic Toss. If this Roselia wants to play the game of residual recovery versus leftovers versus Wish Hypno, I promise you I'll come out on top of that. However, this gives the opportunity for the opposition to start setting up spikes. Man, opposition, where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, Sucker for Jessica. Shout out to Kashif. Long time, man. I know I haven't seen you in decades, but how you doing, man? What's decent? Anyway, go for that Thunder Wave, and after that, we're going to go for a couple more Seismic Tosses. I know I can bring him in range to take him down. However, the Giga Drain recovery is just enough to take another Seismic Toss. And I do know that I'm wondering if he's actually going to swap into Misdrevious here, predicting that Seismic Toss. He goes out into Kangaskhan to get a Thunder Wave, which I guess works out because I guess Aromatherapy could technically be on Roselia to heal off any status afflictions, but I don't know that yet. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Reflect on my Hypno, and this Kangaskhan is paralyzed. That is very, very nice. I have the opportunity to go for Wish beforehand, before my Seismic Tosses, after already having up my Reflect, as my opponent reveals a Rest. Now that leads me to believe this Kangaskhan has the early bird. And he may be the early bird and he usually gets the worm, but I'm going out into Hitmonlee because now Hitmonlee can get fully recovered. I decide on the first turn to predict the Misdrevious first, go for an HP Ghost, which after Intimidate still chunks for about 30-40%. Onto the Arcanine, I'm pretty impressed with that damage. However, a Fire Blast or Flamethrower is incoming, and I actually apologize that it's supposed to be Flamethrower, but damage range with Lantern does not matter in the slightest. That being said, I know he's going to withdraw Arcanine not wanting to take a serve as he goes out to Kangaskhan, which gives me a free opportunity to set up a substitute. Now, I know this thing is going to wake up very quickly, the very next turn. Wakes up in one turn, and that is so good. Early Bird Rest is phenomenal. We re-Thunder Wave the Seismic Toss, and we can duke it out here with Sub-Paralysis stalling, hopefully. Yeah, here comes the Paralysis. I could get some Surfs off. I think I'll need about 5 of them. It is a 5-hit KO. So the return is actually going to break my substitute, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting dangerously low here. That would actually crit. Thank God for that substitute. Oh my God, I definitely would have died from that range. I decide to test the waters a bit, and it works out because it's not a total washout. This Kangaskhan is fully paralyzed, and that enables us to get some leftovers recovery, but also to bring him in range for 2 more hits, I believe, even factoring leftovers, and that is huge. What that means is that I'll be able to take this thing out. Now, like I said, in trying to recreate the situation here, I know I could definitely take him out with another Surf. However, Lantern actually goes down here, and that is why I go for a couple of Thunder Waves to get that return to go through a couple of times to get the Lantern out, so you might have a couple of turns of Thunder Wave. So I'm going to take that moment to ask you guys how you're doing, how you're liking the battles, how you're liking how the quality is. What can I improve on? Let me know in the comment section down below. And what do you guys think about going back to old school? What do you guys think about the fan project I showed you? Let me know in that comment section down below while we go through this infinite Star War, the inevitable Star War here in order to get another return on. Now, the Kangaskhan is at an HP level that I'm going to bring in Hitmonlee. This time, I'm going to make another guess. I decide that Arcanine is probably going to come back in, and, you know, this time I just go for Brick Break. I don't think he's going to bring in Misdrevious. Brick Break does a really nice sizable chunk of damage, but fearing Extreme Speed and or Fire Blast or Flamethrower, I can't really stay in here. He decides to go into Misdrevious on a double against my Kangaskhan. I have the opportunity here as he goes for a Protect to get up a Wish. I think he just kind of wants to scout my Kangaskhan. He really wants to see if I've got that Shadow Ball. However, I go back out into Hitmonlee, and that is a very dangerous play on my part. I could have definitely had something happen to Hitmonlee, but then again, I remember I saw Thunder Wave earlier, and Thunder Wave and Limber, so I will not get paralyzed. This time, I go out again. I make a double out into Hypno. Hopefully, Hypno can take this hit. No. As we learned in the last series, we actually get crit this time. However, that crit did not matter because the damage from Spikes already having residual damage and having to take a Fire Blast plus another attack, possibly an Extreme Speed, was not good. He decides to send out his Kangaskhan as mine goes to sleep this time, and we have some sleeping mamas. Well, I have one sleeping mama, and then he, of course, has his. I decide to make a very, very aggressive, dangerous switch into Hitmonlee. This time I'm predicting Arcanine to come back one last time. Can I get him out of the game? Go for an Earthquake! Knock that Arcanine clean out of the game, and that works out phenomenally. It also would have done pretty good damage to Kangaskhan, possibly 2-hit KOing. But I could not risk it waking up. Well, I'm sorry, mine is asleep. I've got my sleeping mamas backwards. I'm so sorry. Mean Look comes in on the Kangaskhan, and I, spoiler alert, do not have Shadow Ball. So, with that little tidbit in mind, the Perish Song is definitely going to be a problem, because I can't hit this thing. So my idea is to basically just set up the Wish to pass it. Now, originally Roselia was already dead, but it doesn't matter because Hitmonlee can knock it out with any particular attack. But I think you guys are starting to see the problem. Remember, Hitmonlee has no choice. On the last turn, he does, of course, decide to preserve Misdreavus because Misdreavus is his trapper, and I have Hitmonlee. And there's a Kangaskhan and a Roselia. Did you guys get it yet? Did you find out in the let me know in the comment section down below and pause this video. Hitmonlee has no choice, so we have to annihilate and eviscerate this thing's life with a Brick Break. And originally that was just as Misdreavus, but it doesn't matter because this Roselia goes down anyway. My wish does come true. When you wish upon a star, Hitmonlee comes in and heals all. When you wish upon a star, your dreams could come true. If you had any choice to use any other attack but a Brick Break, you guys know what it is. Hitmonlee has no choice but to strike. And that is the moral of the story. Thunder Wave goes off, which doesn't do anything because of Limber, and Protect is the final turn. Thank you so much, Atlas, for this match. I really enjoyed it. Thank you guys, all of you, for your unyielding support. And let me know what I can do better in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll catch you guys on the next battle or the next Xenoverse part. And as always, power on, power off, and I'll see you guys on the next battle or video, whichever one comes first.